Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. We are here on Facebook Live, and we're on LinkedIn and YouTube. Actually, I don't actually you know what? I didn't put you all on LinkedIn. I said, well, you know what, that's a little professional, platform and it's a family. I didn't want to put KP on LinkedIn, so we're here
Samuel
on
Jackson.
so what's going on, man? I got the dynamic duo here. This crew that I knew long time ago, and I'm glad y'all are rapping and talking this up. Thanks for coming on this podcast. We're gonna try to get 1,000 people to check us out, man. And I'm gonna share the podcast on your page, our Facebook pages, so people can comment, and we'll go from there, man. What you drinking, man?
Yeah, I'm finna ask
Moonshine?
you to get
T.
in that cup.
No, that's T. I'm professional
Yo,
today,
T.
okay? That's
But what
T.
what,
Yep.
what is the tea lace with and shit?
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's strictly T, man. I'm sorry. I'm on the Charlie Petley show. I don't want to do what I always do and Samuel Jackson this whole shit up. No.
Yeah, yeah, you got to make your mama proud, man. Make sure you're doing the right thing on the Really Charlie podcast, man. So, everyone, I want you to check out WNB1 Radio, 262 Union Street, New Bedford, Mass. Check out the website. They have different shows like the Really Charlie podcast. We got B Mags in the morning. It's Mags in the morning with B Mags and J9. We got Straight to the Point with Derek Consatio, Stephen Lopes, um, Kevin Rudolph, we and Brian Magnet on the Straight to the Point where they talk shop, and it's nice because they get into it, especially being Cowboys fans, Detroit Lions fans, and the Minnesota Vikings fans. So they go at it, back and forth. We got Luxury Tax. Also, we have hip hop music 24 hours, 7 days out of the week. You can add it to the devices, your devices, Apple and Android, and listen to a Black Latino owned station here in New Bedford, Mass. So, all right, man, Kevin, you know,
Hey, first of all, I want to get a big shout out to Kevin Rudolph and Brian Magnet because they're the real guys, them boys. You know how we are, right, Gumby? You know what I mean? We always
Nice.
celebrate people that celebrate the boys.
For
Go
sure.
Cowboys. You know what I mean? All
Yes,
right, Sean, go
indeed.
ahead.
how that work out this week, man?
It's okay. It's okay. We understand, this is what it is to be a Cowboy fan. You have your ups and downs, but the problem is, even up to the last game of the season, they're going to be talking about they got a shot to get in the playoffs. They got a shot to get in the playoffs. You know what I
That's
mean? That's all they do.
that's Jerry Jones, man. He sounds I don't know, man. He's a billionaire. He can do what he wants with his little toys, and I think the Dallas Cowboys are his toys, but he
Oh,
makes out. He makes out because of guys like you
yeah.
and Gumby that support and buy and buy and buy. He ain't worried about it. The bottom line of him is he's just getting richer and richer. So, but
Uh,
I always
It
think it's
makes
yep.
it makes exciting TV, man. I'm yelling, I'm cursing, I'm like, God damn it, oh, you just it's a whole emotion watching the Dallas Cowboys. You can
Yeah.
never just watch them and be like, yeah, this is going to be that game where I don't have to watch it. No, you got to watch it. Something's going to piss you off, and something's going to make you happy, but it is what it is. We're emotional ride with the Cowboys, so I'm happy. I just
Well,
know one thing that we won the Super Bowl after the 49ers. So all the 49er fans that keep talking about, oh, the Cowboys ain't won since nothing. The 49ers are the new Buffalo Bills. They get there and shit the bed. Samuel Jackson.
well, I was mad because CD Lamb's in the backfield running the ball, and why put him there? Why call that play?
Yeah,
You
you know
know,
what? You know what it is it's the thing is you want him to feel the ball right away, and you just want to get him in the game. You want to make him happy, and I think they overdid it. They should could have they have a good running game, but I think this was more about Chicago versus Matt Ebers, and they proved that they wanted to beat him more than he wanted to beat the Bears because his
Mm-hmm.
defense looked like garbage out there, and he didn't
Mhm.
want to change anything. He didn't want to do anything. But it's a different defense when Bland comes back and Overshawn comes back. Then you get to put pieces where they belong. Right now, you got a bunch of people scrambling. 6, 7 people that will usually be on the bench or come in for a certain play are now trying to stay in the whole game, and then they run out again, and then there's no communication. I'm going here, you go there. So I think the young kids just have to learn. And it's good that they learn now because it goes back to when we had the other guys that are now playing somewhere else. They had to ride the system, and then they got better, and we couldn't afford them. So now what it is with Jerry is he got to go out and get a veteran to put back there so that they can just do what they do. But that zone ain't working, and the reason why people put people in the zone is because they're not comfortable with putting them on a man-to-man. So it's just all about comfortability, and it's you got to go 2-2 in this 4-game stretch for you to be considered without CD Lamb. So then we'll be all right. But if we lose all 4 games, then we're in trouble. But I just see that sometime during the season they're going to make a run, and when they make that run, people are going to be talking about here they come. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the season. I just want to make the playoffs because we're a season team. I want to be a playoff team. You know what I mean? So we get there at 10-6. I'm good because then we don't have everybody can stop talking about us. Oh, they barely made it, and then we can run because
Yeah.
you notice in the NFC East before Philly, won, most of the teams were wild cards and then went on to win Super Bowls. With the Giants, the Cowboys. But back in the day, it was the division winner. But these last Super Bowls before Philly won, it was all about getting in there with a wild card and you could make your way. But
Let's
hey,
um all right, I'm gonna this question is for both of you. What's your all-time favorite jersey from the Dallas Cowboys? What player would you like what jersey would you wear, Gumby?
Man, I probably wear. You talking about back in the day,
Dallas.
Cowboys?
yeah,
Any cowboy for
I probably put on Dorset.
oh nice, nice. And now that you mention that, Javante Williams has his number, right?
yeah,
Believe so.
he's there. Yep,
And
yep.
I thought for sure his number was retired. I did a double take at the beginning of the season. I was like, man, how is it? Why is someone wearing Tony Dorsett's number? I just can't.
Yeah.
It just bothers me. I don't know if something happened between him and Jerry Jones or what. So
I think once he went to Denver, like he didn't retire a Cowboy. I don't think how like
yeah,
most
he went
people
somewhere,
they
right?
get
Yeah.
that one they you get that 1 day contract after you leave. I don't think
Hmm.
Jerry gave him that 1 day contract after he officially retired. Usually they give you that 1 day contract so you can retire as a Cowboy, and I
Hmm.
think he retired as a Denver Bronco. So
What?
that's what it is. But he's still a Hall of Famer. He's still
Yeah.
he's still an aha. He's a fan favorite. But if it was
We?
me, it's always 88. No matter which
Yep.
which
Yep.
which one you want to pick.
Drew Hill.
I was going out there. We can go with Drew Pearson. We can go with Michael Irvin. We can go with CeeDee Lamb. I can go with Des. I like everybody. That's a
Yeah.
wide receiver because especially ones that get that where you don't push off, but you just extend and then you catch the ball. That's the kind of
Mm.
guy I am. You know what I mean? I'll get
Mhm.
away with something and then score a touchdown. And that's why I like them guys because they always they did a little more to be a receiver. Just catch the ball. So
Hey,
I'm
we
always an
we
88 guy.
that's good. Good numbers. We got our man Chops Turner in there. He says, brother KP in the house, nothing but love. My brother, 49 is all the way. God bless. You
You
know
know,
he.
I I knew he was gonna say something, man. He don't realize, man. Without me, Chops, he would still be that shy boy, little. He came over to the bomb shelter, and I taught him how to get that little step, and he used to take breaks, get paid. He don't drink, so why is he taking a break? And then he give me the mic for me to sing, and I'm like. You know what I mean? And then Mike Lopes would try to join in, and I'm like, everybody's clapping. I'm like, yeah, all right, I got this, man. And he just sitting there sweating, and then he go and meet his wife. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I introduced you to her. If I wasn't singing, she wouldn't have fell in love with you, man. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
But I love Chops, man, because he's the guy that I I wanted to just stay focused. Don't change over, Chops. Don't do what everybody does. Just do you. And he stood in the game and he did what he did for him. Not like he could have signed a record deal and made the money, you know what I'm saying? But he loved it. And that's what you see. You see the love with Chops. You don't most singers go out there, do their show. If I'm in the house and Chops better give me A+. You know what I mean? No, not A and B. He gotta give me
Yo,
A+, because I'll sit there and I'll be like, yo, is that what you got? You better get. So he's always been on point when I'm in the audience or I'm there because he knows
it's his,
that I know
his
he got
birthday
it.
Friday.
Yeah.
It's his
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Chops.
Friday's his birthday. You're gonna be on the stage, man. You
Yeah.
going or what? You going?
Nah, I can't go out, man. You know that, man. I go
Yeah,
out and it'd be a whole X-rated scene out there. You know what I mean?
that's
But
it.
for a little while, I'm just gonna maintain in the house, for a little bit until I get
I get it.
better and you know what I'm saying. So I don't plan on going anywhere. I might go out Sunday for my anniversary to my favorite spot, but
Hmm.
that's probably the only thing I'll do. And I'm kind of like just want to get better and sometimes it sucks because you want to move and you keep moving, and then you don't realize that your body catches up with you. So right now I'm into that zone where I just want to get better. You know what I'm saying? I got my
That's
kids
it.
downstairs now, and they take care of me. They're always worried about me, so that's the beauty. Where you think when they leave the house, you don't want to come back to them. Hey, I got my freedom, but my kids are different. They show me love, and we're like brothers and sisters at times. You know what I mean? So I love it. I can't ask for better kids than what I got. So it's a joy being here, and a lot of people will ask them and ask us, how's it is living with your kids? I live upstairs. They live downstairs. We see each other,
That's
but
it,
hey,
man.
if I want to shut everybody down, I'm locking my doors. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
we don't between the two of us, we don't entertain a lot of company, so it's cool that we're together because we don't invite people over. I ain't trying to get sick, with a whole bunch of people. But I also want to know. I want to be able to go to bed when I want to go to bed. So if I invite too many people, a lot of people come home out. They want to go home. Next thing I know, I got a roommate and shit. So that's why I stopped that shit. Hey, I got
Yeah.
problems. Can I come stay with you? Oh yeah, and then it ends up being 10 years later, you know what I mean? So I finally got my house. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm not doing that again. You know?
I want to give a shout out to Butchie. What's up, man? We got Willis on there too, Hall of Famer, my man. And he
What's
says
up,
bang
guys?
bang. Yep.
You
He
know
says
it, bang bang.
bang bang bang. Got
You know
Decon
what?
on the line
You
saying
know what's
what's up,
crazy?
fellas.
It's
What's
cool.
crazy
Also,
about all these people is we grew up with them, and I ain't changed with them. They're all still friends. They all still communicate with me, you, Charlie, and I appreciate that. A lot of people don't have friends like me and you. Like that we grew up with and we still love. Some people find friends and they have to find reason to get rid of them. I ain't never found a reason to get rid of my friends and shit. You know what I mean? Maybe because we're
where'd
not
you
up each
find
other's
Gumby?
ass.
Where'd you find
Man,
Gumby?
Man, Gumby was just God said, "Hey, you two belong together." You know what I mean? They took us and put us in California, and we live right across the street. And no word of lie, we went through roaches to driving Sevilles to driving Nissans and shit. You know what I mean? All just because of we wasn't born in California, so we do stupid shit. I'll tell you a story. Me and Gumby went to rode the bus to go to a blood area, right? And but in the area was Crips first, but his aunt Vera, she would always feed us. So we were like, hey, fuck it. That big old place worth it. Let's get on this motherfucking bus and get to Vera's house because we gonna eat real and shit. And you couldn't leave her house without eating because she'll sit right by there and say, hey, eat that food, boy. So I was eating black food that I didn't even know. I was like, hey man, ham hocks? Nah, motherfucker, I ain't eating this shit. Samuel Jackson. But I just was like, they were giving me stuff, and I was like, oh man, I don't eat this. Yeah, I ate that, and and look at, I don't know what the problem was because me and Gumby couldn't gain weight, and they'd be laughing at us because we're still skinny and shit, you know what I'm saying? All the food we would eat, and they'd be like, stuff it. But the thing was, we got on a bus in St. Louis won the World Series, and we just bought the outfit, and we had the St. Louis stuff, and the guys were like telling us to put the hat off. So he came over to me. The guy said, "Hey, you're over." I said, "Listen, we're not from around here. I'll take it off to respect you, but we did this for the team." So they started talking to me, and in the meantime, Gumby's in the back. I ain't taking this shit off. I just bought it. And they're all looking at him. I'm like, Gumby, man, it's about 50 people on this bus, and all of them were wearing blue. We the only ones, man. We got to calm down. He's like, no, we got this. We got what? What we got, man? You're over there, and I'm in the front, man. We're in two different areas, So finally, they chilled out. They just said, whatever. And then we get off the bus, and this nigga throws up Hoover Crip. What the fuck? That's a grip, you know what I mean? Because we're wearing bloods in the blood area. Now he wants to throw up Hoover Crip and we're off the bus, man. I'm like, this guy don't learn, man. He went from one way to another way. Shit, but
man, didn't we get that gear from your mama's friend over there on 109?
Yeah.
And we hurried up and took all that shit back to him. Shit, soon we got I don't know where we were going. We were flamed up, man. Shit, soon as we made it back to the house, nigga, we took all that shit right back over there. Shit, we didn't want shit else.
Fuck that shit. We just thought we were wearing World Series. We thought, most people buy World Series things or football champion, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, it was crazy. I'll tell you what was really crazy. Went to the Coliseum game, man. Took Malik and shit, and Malik's all happy, and we got all these Mexicans, and Malik first was scared. He was like, this Halloween or what? Because they were looking like they had all kind of outfits, monster masks, and I was like, this is a football game? You know what I mean? And it wasn't the Coliseum, so there was stone seats, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on stone seats and stuff all around and stuff, you know what I mean? I don't even remember the game or who they were playing. I just remember the fans. They were so crazy. It was like a show just watching them. Raiders. I was like, Raiders. So we went out and bought Raider gear. And then we just started wearing Raider gear all the time. You know what I mean? We still their boys, but we just look good. You know what I mean? And wearing a Raider coat looking bad in California, man. All that black and shit. And then they told us, hey, you can't wear that. That's for black Pyrus. We're like, man, we can't wear shit over here, man. We might as well dress up in orange or fucking yellow so we can't get beat up or in trouble. You know what I mean? But me and Gumby was too fast for most people. They couldn't catch us, man. We had the one day, there was only one bus that ran. It was the Crenshaw Boulevard. That runs 24 hours. So we love to go to Hollywood Boulevard, get the radios for $10, and they were big radios, you know what I mean? We just, that whole strip was just selling shit. So by the time we were finished, it was late. Yeah.
We're late for school. Shit, we keep right on going. We would walk right on past the gate and walk on 52nd and get on the Crenshaw bus, and we stay up there all day long. Shit. Until it's about time for us to get out of school. Then we couldn't get in trouble. We get back on the bus and get home around about the time that we done got out of school.
Yeah. Hey, tell them about Motown Record Shop. Remember when they fucking when
Man,
Jerome and them's father gave us a pass to go there for lunch, and then it
yeah,
was over. We were
yeah,
gone after that.
man,
So
yeah,
we would have to go to his shop from 12 o'clock, and we got a work pass so
yeah.
we can go there. But
Af-
we all used that his Motown shop as an address so we can go to Crenshaw High. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy there, but we had fun. Like I don't know, we just some dumb kids and just didn't want to. We ran, we ran one time, and then these guys went around the block, and we hid in the bushes, and we stuck Malik in that bush and shit, and we were stuck in that bush. These dudes came around the block and was like, "Where the fuck they go?" We were in them bushes right there, and like canaries, you know what I mean? Just stuck right there, like, "Hey, don't move." And we ain't moving. They were just looking for us and shit. And but then we get to the next block, we see these other guys on the corner, and they're like looking at us, and I'm like, shit. All we have to do is run across the street, bro, and we're in our own territory. They ain't gonna chase us down that block.
yeah,
We
no.
fucking when we went up another block across the street, was on our street. Hey man, it was beautiful. But then the worst thing was we got served at this liquor store that was in front of 3 gangs. So me and Gumby was like, hey, fuck it, we're 17. Let's go over to that liquor store. I said, I'm going, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting that beer.
Yeah,
OD, wine cooler. And then we met the Mexicans and forget about OD and think that motherfuckers only drink Budweiser, man. And me and Gumby like, hey, we ain't paying for it. They're buying it. They would
yeah.
go through like 6 cases of Budweiser, and they be walking like, and me and Gumby just laughing at them, man. But they get trashed, and they just keep going, and then they would buy. People in our neighborhood loved us, so
Yeah.
we would play football on little patches of grass and stuff, and these little kids always want to test Gumby because he's tall and skinny. So he's like, come on, let's go on the court. So at first, Gumby, you couldn't hold the ball right. I said, and he got mad one day. We had to play Chewy, his brother, and his other friend. These guys would always want to play me and Gumby, man. I don't know why. We used to whip their ass, man. Oh, and Chewy be like, come on, man. Come on, let's go. We gonna get you this time. And we're like, you guys can't get us. You know what I mean? And then they make a layup or something. They be like, yeah! Like, oh, it's on. And then 5 seconds later, we're dunking on them, wrapping our legs around their neck and shit, talking about, you smell that? And I smell it. Oh, yeah. And I
Man,
came back.
we
We
used to
had
be
some fun.
all over LA and shit, all over LA
Oh,
County.
yeah.
We'd be way
Man,
out. We'd be way out by Knott's Berry Farm. Shit, we in a whole different county. Shit,
yeah. We just
messing with
go.
Maurice.
Oh man, Maurice's sister, she
Yeah,
she used to get cars, Charlie, and like buy them total and flip them, and then have me and Gumby ride around in them so that people can see they're for sale. You know what I mean? And she
Mm-hmm.
said, "Here, you guys want the car?" And we just
yeah,
so then we
Jaguars and
just
all kind of good cars. Shit.
we were just like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like, hey, let's go to Sherry's house, man. Maybe she'll give us a freaking car. We get there, she got, what you guys over here for a car? We just want here. We like,
Yeah.
okay. You know what I mean? So one day we were riding around in the car, and me and Gumby met these girls, and so the following week, 2 weeks later, we were on the bus coming home from LA, and we see the 2 girls, and they were like, oh, where's your car? And then we happened to ride by the car, and I said, it's right there. Because Maurice lived on 53rd, and the 2 cars are right there. I said, they're right there. And she go, why are you riding a bus? Oh, we riding a bus today, man. You can't ride the bus. You know what I mean? So then Gumby got their number, was kept calling them and shit. I ain't fuck with black girls, you know what I mean? Like with braids and shit. I couldn't do that at that time. I had nice hair and stuff. I just wanted a girl with nice hair. So I
You're
wouldn't.
prejudiced. You don't like black folks.
Not Charlie. The girls with braids used to pull me and Gumby over and point a gun at us and tell her, "Oh, we want to have your baby." I said, "Whoa, what are you doing, girl?" She's like, "Yeah, we want to have your baby, boy." And I was like, "You
They
really
was,
pulling a gun on
they was,
me?" She's
they
like,
was thug.
"Yeah."
In
They were
LA, the
thugged up.
females are thug. They thugged out for real.
No, I know that.
This girl came with fucking no shoelaces and shit. Pretty girl, man. I was like, you dumbass, you look like a. I was like, she almost had me because she had green eyes. I was like, oh, hey. And then she started with the, oh, hey, nigga, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It wasn't right where we was. I was like, these girls are just. So once that was like that, I was like, I'm done. But the best thing was, so one day I was gonna go catch a bus, and you know, Charlie, we caught the green bus, so it was only 10 cents. You know what I mean? And they were like, so they try to rob me, and they try to say, hey, where you got? I say, I got 15 cents for the bus, and they were like, how you gonna take a bus with 15 cents, boy? I said the Gardena bus, and I broke it down to them, and they were like, what? And their sisters jumped off the porch, started fucking them dudes up. Leave that nigga, no, that's my nigga. And I'm like, oh, okay. I started letting them walk me home, man. I said, you can walk me home. They were waiting for me at the corner. There he is, you shy ass nigga.
That's my future That's my future baby daddy, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. I wasn't Samuel Jackson then because I was just like a church boy. Go ahead, walk me home, girl. You know what I mean? I didn't care. Once I got to my friends, I went, they go do your schoolwork, boy, schoolboy. I was like, yes, I am. I was like, shoo. Went home, took a shower because I was sweating my balls off. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, these girls were rough. You know what I mean? They were rougher than their brothers, man. And their brothers were in gangs. They were like, I was like, oh, this is cool. Then we started walking up the street and met Anthony. Because now we can walk the street because the girls would be protecting us. So we just walked up the street. And then we met Sherry and them, the girls from around the way. Charlie, you remember them, the girls from up the street, the house that had all the girls, and their father was, I think it was a fireman. You know what I mean? But yeah, but they were real cool. They would call me and Gumby, come on over here. So we just started chilling at their house. And they you know, they were big and fat, so we couldn't fuck with them, but they were cool people, you know what I'm saying? But they were nice. They really took care of us too. So we had some nice people out there, you know, not like a lot of people say California was crazy. Now I think me and Gumby was crazy, and California threw us the hell out of there. They said, hey man, you guys are doing too much, you know what I'm saying?
No,
the guy and then how about the bean pies?
Remember that night your cousin had them warrants and went to jail?
Yeah, we took off.
We jumped in that Nova. We was in that Nova. You were running over cats and all kind of shit.
Oh, the cop said, bless you. He said, you got your license? I said, no. He said, well, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to bless you. You promise to go straight home? I said, yeah. We said, yo, we went to Pasadena, UCLA campus. This dude, Anthony, was like, yo, let's go to Pasadena. I was like, all right, what the hell is up there? He goes, yo, it's a party all night long, college things. I was like, let's go. Man, UCLA is so beautiful at night. There was no parking. We just parked anywhere. I'm surprised we remember where the car was because we were just booming in there. Then we got back. We went to Fat Burgers. You know what I mean? And Fat Burgers was chilling till like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then we got home, and I think Freddie came 2 hours later. They bailed him out and shit. He don't know. No, we just got home. You know what I mean?
We just made it there ourselves. Shit.
He's like, get to my cousin, he'll get over. I say, why are you riding with us with all these warrants, man?
Yeah.
I was like, what's wrong with you, man? How we get home now, Freddie? What's wrong with you?
And we're in the Nova. We're in the two-door Nova.
Charlie, we went to Compton, and that's where they pulled him over. So we're in Compton. It's not an industrial area, that's all. And then there's the ghetto. And then there's the ghetto over here. Then there's the ghetto over here. All 3 ghettos are run by 3 different gangs. And we're in the middle.
I remember.
And the cops, there's 10 to 20 cops just to come get us. And once they got Freddie, they didn't even care about us. They just let us go, man. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with these cops? I said, who said these cops? Yeah, man. They say, I said, who the hell said cops are mean? These guys are freaking awesome, man. Look at them letting me ride around. I ain't even
They
that
didn't
age
tow,
yet.
cause they could have towed the car.
Like they were laughing. They were laughing like let them go. Let's see where they go. They like they gonna get in the next county. It's somebody else's problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were
Nah,
setting you up so you guys will be somewhere in Pasadena locked up.
yeah, but they didn't know we were going to the white neighborhoods, and they wasn't expecting that. They were like, "Oh, these guys must be the rich black kids from down the street." You know what I mean? Because we were dressed all right. We just was in a beat up Nova. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's
but
it.
we were cool. We looked like college students when we got to UCLA campus because everybody looked like us. You know what I mean? That's because everybody
Yeah.
from down south or whatever was going to UCLA. Oh,
Yeah.
we went to USC too. We don't
Yeah.
want to hear USC stories because they were shooting people when we were going there. We went to play basketball and they're shooting over there in the other corner and shit. And we were waiting to play next. Somebody heard the shots. They left. I said, "Oh, I guess we got next now." You know what I mean? It didn't phase us. We just started playing ball again. We finally got on the court. We want to play them college boys so bad. I wasn't leaving, man. But
Crazy.
the
Like
people that probably yeah.
USC was like a little town, man. You had everything there, man.
Man, it
Yeah,
was nice. It's nice out there in Westwood, though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Westwood was nice. Yeah, it was
Damn.
beautiful. Well, we used to go everywhere, man. We went to the Rose Bowl parade, man, and that was awesome. You know what I mean? Because there was so many people and stuff like that, and like it was a thing in California. Let's go to
Yeah.
Rose Bowl parade because it was
That's
always in
every yeah.
Pasadena.
That's every
You know what I
year.
mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, man, we
They go
we
down.
did so much things, you know.
How'd you,
Malik got the generosity of all that because we just take him along. You know what I mean? Like, come on, because
Yeah.
my job was like 3 buses over, and once she had to open up because and then she had to close. So I barely see my mom. You know what I mean? So she come home, and then it's time to get back up to ride the buses again. So I had to cook for Malik and. The best thing I don't know. All these kids fell in love with me. Bisquick had a fucking recipe, Samuel Jackson, on the back, and it's crumb cakes. You know what I mean?
yep.
And man, I made that, man, and the kids in the back, and everybody was like, "Whoa, that's good." So I figured how to shut everybody up. I told them, "I'm bring that Bisquick and shit. I'll make crumb cakes, and I'll bet you everybody's cool." And then when they had a linguiça roll with the Portuguese roll, man, these kids were in heaven. They were like, "Hey, we had gangbangers coming over. What you got?" They started making names for us and said Oogly and all these other shit. They were like, "Yeah, you look like Big Oogly." And oh, yeah, they just started. I'm like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Man, we had this one friend, man. He would go in the valley, man, but this dude." Man, Charlie, I ain't gonna say nothing, man. But he just thought he was so built and shit, man. Then he be coming around and shit. He be wearing them Daisy Dukes with no underwear and shit. I like, "What's wrong with you, man?" He goes, "The girls like that, man. The girls like that." I said, "Ain't nobody like that, man. Oh, big old legs and sticking out with no fucking underwears on, man." I say, "You gonna split your balls in half, man. You look like you got a vagina, man. What's wrong with you, man?" Always wearing them tight, and then he used to pull them up like looking like Urkel. See, yeah. He's a big muscle bound dude, man. And we just bust out laughing, man. But he hung with us, man, and I like we hung with we had a big dude, we had another dude with an afro, we had a rapper, a dancer. Like we just was a bunch of weird kids. So we called ourselves the AWK crew, always kicking it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So one day, man, we got a little argument with one of our friends. He went to the school and he starts writing our name and targeting, and the gangbangers were like, "Who the fuck is AWK?" And they looked at and they were like, that's us. They were like, "Ooh, that nigga just targeted you, man." We're like, "What? What he do?" He circled our name and so he was mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He got in a little argument with Malik, and Malik's like fucking like 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, I'm killing that Samuel Jackson stuff, but I'll try to refrain from myself. But he, yeah, man. And he was arguing with Malik. So Maurice told him he's a little kid, man. He pushed him, and he just, when we pushed him, he just was like, oh, he was all mad. He thought we all hated him and shit. And then, friends and friends, but he's blown it out of prison. The next day, he's back at our house, and he's like, I'm sorry, guys, but that's just what we do. You know what I mean? We can't be mad at each other because we're the odd crew. You know what I mean? We're the only non-gang bangers, so we better get along with each other. So, we used to, but he used to, we liked him because he used to look like Boogaloo Shrimp. And we used to go with him to the LA Breakers, and he used to battle him and shit. And that we look bad. Like, just watching him dance, they thought we were all fucking the baddest. And that's how we got into lip sync contests and stuff like that, because people automatically thought we were a crew. And we just, people do different stuff, so they just thought we were a crew. But hey, it worked.
Did you know each other before Crenshaw?
Yeah, we were at Washington High.
That's
and,
right.
And we went to Clay. Well, I was in my Gumby was in I think the 8th, and I was in the 9th. You know what I mean? And we went to Clay. You know what I'm saying? And then we moved on. I went to Washington, and he was still at Clay. But then when he came over, but Gumby loved Texas. He'd go back and come back. You know what I'm saying? But his mother was beautiful to us, you know what I mean? Like, so just like my mom, you know what I mean? They just love us, and they do. Yeah, we're like, they took it. We were like her kids or my kids, and stuff like that. And we trust each other's mother to take care of us. We go to eat, we do things, and and they're the ones. Well, see, they tricked us though. They tricked us one day to go to church. And me and Gumby was inspecting that shit, and people were passing out in front of us. And Gumby was like, "What the hell, man?" And
time go.
It's go time go. He's like, "Yo, get out of here, man!"
They don't pass.
Like the Holy Ghost is here. You know what I mean? We're like, bro, we were freaking. It was like,
man.
Boom and
we weren't accustomed to no shit like that. Shit. Oh,
Chewy's a preacher because of that crazy. He was like, boom, when he started doing it and falling down, I was like, Chewy, what are you doing? He said, I'm gonna be a preacher one day. And I was like, man, you ain't making it to be no preacher. He's a preacher now, you know what I mean? But it was funny because
he's a good one too.
Yeah,
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, he go live. He be going live on Sundays, like on Facebook.
Damn.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff, man. Chewy, I love Chewy, man. The reason he got us back was because he said, come over here. I got some girls that go to church, and me and Gumby said, oh, there's girls in there? So there was this certain family that went, and I mean, she must have like 10 girls, and they were fine. We were like, oh, we'll go back. We started going back and sitting behind them, and then we didn't care about what they were doing. We just watching them shake. Woo! We're going to church and watch Bodie. Right? But they wouldn't. We couldn't talk to them because they were going to church. So all we could do was have fun with them, and and then let them go on their way because their father wasn't having them.
Yeah, no.
Hey, me and Malik were chilling in his yard, and so he was like, yo, you got to put them both on, man. You got to put them on a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So, but what's the craziest story you had with him?
Malik? So one day, man, we left the house at 4 a.m, and I dragged him out of bed. I was like, come on, let's go. And he's like, I said, get your ass up. We going. Samuel Jackson. We go and we got on a bus and we rode the bus, man. And the bus, like by the time we went to Knott's Berry Farm, Charlie. And I kid you not, man, this kid was so happy. We went on all the rides, man, and I took him, you know what I mean? And he was chilling. So I was like, he's ready for this. So we went to Notre Dame. I had to carry him. We got on the last bus. We had to go all the way back to Hollywood to catch that
Mm-hmm.
Crenshaw bus. You know what I mean? So we got home the next day at 6. So he was sleeping. And then I said, you want to do this again? And he said, yeah. So this time we went to Disney World. Okay. I put that motherfucker on Space Mountain. Oh my God. And he was like, and it was dark. I said, what are you doing that for? We can't even see nothing, man. It was all dark. And he was like, oh. Charlie, he got off. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, it's the same kid that was crying. You know what I mean? He was so excited, man. He was like, oh, man. But you can see it. It's like, ooh. And then, it was crazy, man. And I took him on a Tron, and he thought the Tron just, like, because you go into the light show, and then it feels, you think you just went 100 miles an hour, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And he was like, whoa, we're going too fast. And things going like this. It's going real slow, but the lights are just making it go fast. And he was like freaking out. He's like, hold on to me. I want to fall. I was like, it's not going nowhere, man. But yeah, man, that's some. So Malik was our thing, man. I loved having him with me, man. He just added elements, you know.
I used to push his ear.
What's that?
I used to push his ear and make it flap.
Yeah.
He had a lot of people. He had a lot of people messing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. Nobody mess with him now, you know.
Yeah.
That all they did was make him tough, man. And I love my little brother. I got a bunch of good little brothers, man. And but see, I didn't get the opportunity to hang out with both of you, you know.
Yeah.
I was always taking off, you know, going to
Yeah.
to Perkins' house and 120th, 120th, and which was good for me because the reason is because I seen another side of LA over there, you know, that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you talked about Compton just a little while ago, you know, and craziest thing is that, you know, you go through all kinds of sets, and we were blessed, man, because we wasn't getting messed with, you know. When you kind of did, I wasn't used to. I mean, Gumby wasn't, you know, he's from Texas, man. You just go where you want.
Yeah.
So
we had praying. What it was, we had praying mothers.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you have praying mothers, you're gonna be all right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what got us both through it.
Yeah. Hope, belief, and faith was instilled in us right then, you know. So a lot of people hear me say that hope, belief, and faith, and that's where we learned it from, right there, you know. And you know, it's just the way some people, you know, believe in faith, and they tell you, and you automatically like know that it's real. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there's times we believed, you know. So it was like our destiny was written, and God's going to take care of us, so let's just go. You didn't have time to be scared. You just, some things would freak you out, but you didn't have time to be scared because we knew we were going to go do that again tomorrow. But we wasn't stopping going to Hollywood because that's where all the fun was. I tell you, when I was in Torrance, in Lomita, you know, I got a nice version of California, but it wasn't nice for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was scared to be in. You know, that's an area where the KKK was, and you know, even though I'm light skinned, it didn't matter. You know, to them, I'm still, you know, black or whatever. You know, say dark skin, whatever. You know, you know what word I want to say, but I can't say it. So we'll just say Samuel Jackson on that one. And they would, you know, they would force us. You know what I'm saying? And they would say dumb stuff if we rode the bus. They say the black driver was our mother, and they just make corny jokes, and you know, to the time where you're like, I had enough of this, because really I want to beat you up, but I know I can't, because you know you're in that neighborhood. You're gonna get blamed for it, so you just do what you do, I used to ride Malik on a bike. I used to fuck up his leg because I used to have him sit in the front and on the handlebars and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and his leg always got caught. And I tell him, "Come on, man, you gotta pick your leg up." You know what I mean? And I drop him off and shit. I know that lady was like, "What the fuck happened to your leg? Who's beating you up?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Hey, that's the only way I can get him there." You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Shut up, don't tell them. Just tell them you fell, man. Come on, go ahead. I'll pick you up later, man." You know what I mean? But
Mm-mm.
it was the way to get him to the school, you know what I mean, the daycare, because mom's already on the bus and gone. So I ride him up, and then I get back and I go catch the bus to get to my class, you know. But yeah, man, I had some fun too in Lamita because when I went to school there, I actually went like hang gliding because this one kid, white kid, he was in the ROTC, but it was the Air Force ROTC. You know what I'm saying? So his recruiter took him and said, "Hey, you got any friends you want to bring?" And he asked me to go, and he said, "Meet me here in front of the school." I got up early and I went, and I hang glided, man, and I was like, "This is awesome." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know, and the thing that was awesome was this this kid loved me so much that he wanted me to go, and he, you know, and we had fun, and you know, but then I moved away from him. But he would have been a nice kid if at that time we had cell phones, I could have just exchanged numbers. I'd probably still be friends with that kid because he was dedicated to making sure, you know. So
That's cool.
yeah,
The I like the fact that you two have maintained your friendship, you know, and keeping in touch. Because it just proves that, you know, what y'all were doing was for love, man, loving it, loving each other as brothers, and that's cool, man, because that was a long time ago, man, whether we want to believe it or not.
Oh, we know it.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
we know it. We
But we love,
we
hey, we love every minute of it.
mhm.
Yeah, man, it's because it was just me, you know, it's us versus the world, and you know, and he had little brothers, he got older brothers, but you know, we just valued each other, you know, like at his older brother Eric used to play with Brian Bosworth, man, and when and they were both crazy. Brian Bosworth and Eric is both the same crazy dudes, and they went to the high school and played football together, and when I met Eric, I was like, "Yeah, you and Brian are just like me and Brian Bosworth, you know,
Mhm.
psycho dude over here." That high school, I don't know what was going on in that high school, but that whole football team must have acted the same way. I'm surprised the rest of them didn't make it into the pros, but you know, it's wonderful to have them stories, you know, and to know that Eric probably could have went, you know, into to be pro football, but he ended up going to service. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, we
blessings to
got a message
God,
for Gumby. Got Malik
Malik.
checking us out, man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was just tell him I was just playing with his ears. That's all.
that's
Ooh, shit.
that's my bro, man.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
See,
man.
man, we used to like literally just chill all the time. Shit.
Yeah, man. It ain't like now like a lot of people's you know they think when they hang with their little brother it's a babysitting job. Me, it wasn't babysitting. It was trying to take this dude on an adventure. So Malik probably did a lot of shit that you know he when he was a kid that he could cross out a bucket list. You know what I mean? Because he did a
Yeah.
lot. You know. He did so much he didn't even know what he was doing. Because like you know, once it gets a certain time, I got to carry him, and he's sleeping. You know what I mean? But except for when we got off the bus and I knew the gang was coming, I'd be like, "Wake up! You gotta run!" You know what I mean? He'd be all like, running and shit. But and then me and Gumby just start laughing, and then Malik just bust out laughing with us and said, "Oh man, like, he didn't know he go from being scared to us laughing and was like, what we doing? Oh, and like yeah, man, yep, them were the good old days, man.
It's like
I
yelling.
and
It's like yelling fire in the house. Fire.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody's sleeping.
That's the
Yeah.
only way. Otherwise, he would have. If you don't, if you didn't get him up like that, he would have still stood asleep. That's the only way you can get him up to be energetic. You know what I mean? To be like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go. Oh man, that's tough one, man. I shouldn't have been doing that, but hey, man, we had to get there, man. I have we ain't got choices to be like stalling. Like if you have a little brother now and you tell them to leave, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Let's go, we gotta run," and they're like, "I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna tell mommy." There's no time for. I'm telling mommy,
Yeah.
it's time to go. Let's go, man. We be gone. But hey, man, cheers to everything we did because
Yep.
all these people want pony potties. Malik got a pony potty. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Just
Yep.
just me, him. Gumby, like we just had a pony potty, and I don't know where my mother got that horse, but we got it. Probably Froggy. You know what I mean? But we had a horse, and he had a cap and everything. And we took
Yeah,
that.
everything.
You know what I mean? It was a little pony, but I think it was like straw hat pizza or
Yeah.
something. They had a
Yeah.
pony out
Little. He
playing
had a
game.
little vest on, and
Yeah. So I
you
think they
got
had the
you
pony outside.
got to find that picture for him, man, because I know. I mean, as we talk about it over the years, we always talk about it. It always comes up.
Yeah, yeah,
So I can imagine how special it is for him to have that picture. Um.
yeah,
Chef.
Yeah. Yep. The I, I had a good time in his yard the other day. And you were sick. But there's one thing I know, especially going to Malik's house and Nicole's, and the best thing was is that we knew that us three were always gonna probably be there for some time. And
mm,
that's why I like to make sure that I go. Um, but Malik's raised a good family. Proud of them.
yeah.
You know, now we got MJ. That kid is a trip, man. That's a kid that would have went on a trip with you. You know, he
Mm.
MJ would have probably been waking you two up and saying, "Let's go. What we doing today, man?" Because he's just funny, man. He's just funny. So
I love that about where the one thing I love about my brothers is we love our kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's good. So it's the way, you know what I mean, that they make you feel special with because we didn't have our dads, you know what I mean? Gumby, you know what I mean? Neither
Yeah.
we just so we were raised with mothers, so it's kind of hard for us to be role models when we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's all brand new for us. When we were brand new, we were the first generations of dads. You know what I'm saying? So you at the beginning rough, you know what I mean? But now I love it. I love everything that they. I
Mhm.
gave everybody 50 years of my life. This next 50 is mine, so I'm having a ball. You know what I mean? And I treasure it. You know what I'm saying? Because the
hmm
first 50, like I would like give up my back for different people and stuff like that, and I'll never take what I did for my friends and my family or whoever it was because I thought I was God. I really did. I thought me doing this would help people, and that's what they started calling me the street preacher. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted someone to get out the street and go home. You know what I mean? And I promised them kids that I'll try whatever because a lot of times people in the streets these older people will come in to go buy drugs from these kids, but yeah, going in the club talking bad about them. But yeah,
Mhm.
y'all did, you know what I'm saying? So
hmm
listen, man, don't come over here talking bad about these kids when y'all there doing stuff. So then it was more of like, you want to talk bad about these kids, I'm gonna talk bad about you. And then we got to a balance where, all right, we know you, you know us, so let's be together as a whole, but don't come down shitting on us, Samuel Jackson, if we can't do the same to you. You know what I mean? So it was a challenge, to getting older people to respect kids, because when I grew up, all the older cousins and all that, they took care of us, because we didn't have fathers. So they were the older brothers and older cousins and stuff were our fathers, and we all, were so close, that's when everybody was doing family picnics, and they would be like, "Yo, go find your older cousin. Don't worry about it. They didn't care about kids, because we can trust each other to take care of each other, And then there was that generation that decided not to be, not to help each other, and that's when it got wild. And now we got the what they call them YNs now, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it's not that, because if you sit and talk to some kids at a one time, at a good time, where you give them not no lecture, just tell them, this is how it is, and look at me. I was there, but look at me now. You know what I'm saying? So don't get caught up that you have to live there and be there for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, the money is better in the streets, but they're not trying to get money now. They're just trying to shoot each other. So they need
Yeah.
to hear that once you go to jail, your friend isn't your friend no more. Because he's gonna be close to your girl. So you tell him to do this and that. Next thing you know, you're mad at him because he slept with your girl. You put it in his lap, man. You should have
Yeah.
stood out and stood with
Yeah.
the girl. But he knows your game, so he knows you have side chicks. So he's gonna say whatever he wants to get into that because you fed him the information about her being the best and this and that, and then y'all mad. Shit. Hey, you want to be mad? You should have stood your ass out the streets and became a man and took care of your girl. But and once you got pretty hair and pretty eyes, you think you can Samuel Jackson any girl you want. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's where
Hey,
the problem starts. You know?
we got Eric on Eric Gomes saying, hey guy.
Hey, them boys, another them
That's it.
boys. You know
Got Brian BJ Costa, Taunton,
what?
my man, doing his
I
thing.
want.
He's saying, let them know, real talk, real talk. I agree, man. And
I I, I want to
and
shout out
oh,
Eric Gomes real quick, and then you get because his mother is, oh man, I love Mummy to death, and I want
that was
him
Erica
and
Gomes.
Velma. I thought you said Eric Gomes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Erica. Well, you stay on that. I'll let you mention that, but that was Erica Gomes,
oh,
a girl
oh,
from Chi Town,
Chicago, yeah. I
Chi
used to
Town's
hang with her.
finest, doing her
Me and
thing.
Buck, used
Yeah.
to hang with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Malik says,
You
Malik
want some
says, I want
barbecue?
some barbecue. I see you on a grill.
Oh yeah, I can get down on that grill.
yeah,
That's
he
it,
be
man.
getting down. He be
I can
getting
get
down.
down. Yeah.
That'll
I
be a
told
nice
him
trip, man.
I was
Pull
just
the
showing
bone
up at
straight
his
out the
house,
meat.
and then he just throw that meat on the grill, man. I told him I'm just sitting in his yard and sitting in my chair while he cooks, and I smell that grill, And I want to make sure I bring a car because I know he details too. I'll drive my car there to let him fucking wash and clean that. You know what I mean? I'm sure.
Yeah.
But so let me go back to the story about Mummy, where people don't understand. Mummy's a church lady, but she used to get me in trouble, man, and she just bonded with me, and we were like
Explain who Mummy is, though.
so. Mummy is Geraldine Gomes, if you guys don't know, and she's original Peanut, you know what I'm saying, but she's she she was the heart of she loved her kids, but Mummy used to yell like Eric, Trevor, and everybody be thinking she's a mean old lady because she always will yell. But she raised beautiful kids, and we started hanging out because we got a job together, and man, and once she got with me, she just started being a jokester and having fun. I was like, what you doing, man? And I was like, Geraldine. She be like, only you can call me that. Only you can call me that. So then once I found out she didn't like Geraldine, I was like, Geraldine! Finding her way down the block. She goes, that kid, he's so stupid. You know what I mean? Oh man. And everybody be like, why you calling her that? She don't like that. Man, she gonna smile for me. You know what I mean? She used to put like we used to do needles and stuff, right? She go and spill them near my boss's area, and my boss come back, hey, what's this over here? Mommy said, oh, hey, ask Kevin. He probably did it. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? You're a church lady. You trying to get me in trouble? I said, oh, man. I'm going to tell Joe when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but we have like I could have so many stories I can tell about her. We could just do a show on it, me and her. With like we just like, and she was older than me. You know what I mean? Like
That's
she's
it.
supposed to spank me. You know what I mean? Like what the hell? We're getting in trouble. I'm gonna spank you, mommy. What you doing, man? You got me in trouble. You know what I mean?
Hey,
God rest her soul, man.
yeah, man, rest
She
in
was
peace,
my high,
man.
man.
One of the
I
one
she
of the
changed
greatest
me.
parents in the projects, man. She was
Yeah,
just
she changed me, Charlie, because I was wild until I met her, man. She wilded me. I said, I gotta chill out because this lady's crazy, man. You know what I mean? I started being calm, and everybody like, Kevin, why you come so calm? Because I'm hanging with mommy, man. You know, you heard me? She gonna get us in trouble, man. Like, you know, probably have like 18 fire trucks over here and a couple cops, and she'll be like, the guy went that way. You know what I mean? What the hell? Pressing the fire alarm and stuff, you know. I'm
I
like,
love
mommy,
it.
what's that on your hand? She goes, oh, nothing. I said, that's a blue mark from the fire alarm, man. What's up with you, man? I didn't touch that. What are you talking about? That's the kind of things he do, man. Oh man.
That's yeah, we miss her.
She put, you know them
Yep.
raccoon hats you
Mm-hmm.
hear. She hid that underneath my boss's desk. She told me, give me that, give me that. But she went in there, she put it underneath his desk. The dude's over there with a mop, and we're laughing at it. He's like, what the hell is that? And he's trying to hit it with the mop, trying to see if it's going to move or it's dead. You know what I mean? It's a raccoon tail. And he's scared. He's like, I'm watching him through the window. And I'm like, what's he think? Like, and we're laughing. And he was there for a good 20 minutes. He didn't want people to know because he probably be like, oh, damn, they're going to shut the company down if they got this big old rat. And he's like, looking, and he's like, what's that? What? And he looks, and again, and so Tony Dias was our boss. He looked, and then finally he grabbed it, right, and he put it on the mop, and mommy goes, ah, ah! I started laughing. I said, mommy, man, that was funny. He said, hey, man, Charlie, he said, Samuel Jackson, both of you two, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I was like, man, but that was funny. That's when I say, oh, mommy's the Samuel Jackson, because that was awesome. That's awesome. You're picturing the church lady going to go scare somebody with a raccoon hat, you know, and your boss too. Who's gonna be
Yeah.
trying to pick on their boss? She did, you know. Oh
Yeah,
man.
she was just one of those, man. She just I liked when you know, when you had a conversation with her, right?
Yeah.
Outside you know, her scolding her kids or telling us, you know, do the right thing, whatever. But when eventually there was that one-on-one conversation with her, and you say, "Man, this one, she's cool, man. This is, you know." And but she just came from that great family, man. They
Yeah.
were all
Yeah.
kind of they were
No,
all
the
likable. They're
whole
all popular.
the whole Peanut Girl generation loved me. You know, they they would all like, and it's crazy because Valentino's mother, you know what I'm saying? She'd make me. We go over there to have cream of wheat and stuff, and we would eat dinner and stuff at her house, and then you know you go back over to Tisha's with Curtis and them, you know, and so me and Tisha, I got stories about Tisha too. Man. I love her.
Yeah,
We used to go in a band club, man. I used to aggravate her and shit. But we hung. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, I'm really hanging with these people. I'm like, hey, man, knock on their doors and run, and so now we're hanging, man. Oh
I
God,
love it.
oh my God. You know what I mean? Yo, so yeah, man. I love the whole Pina sister fam. Like they were just bombs to me, man. I miss them. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
because I got something that nobody else could get because I was hanging with their friends that you got to experience all the mothers, you know, and they're all sisters, and you know what I mean. And I got to enjoy them all once, you know, being with one of their kids, you know, you know, even Gene P, you know, he's I love him too, you know. So that whole Peanut clan was raised right, and
nice.
they all have big families with the kids and stuff like that, and you know it is what it is. But that whole, you know, hats off to Mummy's mother and father because they raised some real good women and Gene to be like, you know, it don't matter what we were, you know what I mean, but they were the fitting parents. You know what I mean? They did what they had to do for their kids, and I love that about them. You know what I mean? I love
True.
Gumby's my mom, but mothers are just different in my book. You know what I'm saying? They just did what they had to do, and when Bay Village it wasn't just your kid. It was everybody's kid is your kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can get smacked anytime by somebody's mother. You wasn't calling DSS because DSS would have hung the phone up on you. You know what I mean? Where now kids will pick up the phone and say, "My mommy hit me," and DSS wants to put you in care. And then they wonder why later on and shit, the kid just did something in school. You know what I mean? You told me not to
That's it.
punish him. You know, but it's
My boy Michael Shemail, how you doing, man? Always support me on the Really Charlie podcast on YouTube, and I appreciate it. Everyone, please like and subscribe to the Really Charlie podcast on YouTube, and share this podcast on Facebook if you're on there. Um, as it is a reason why I got these two crazy dudes on my podcast was because they actually had nothing. I tell everybody, Kevin Perry was the Michael Epps of my family, and when you grew up with him, I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah, we went 3,000 miles away, moved to LA, but I didn't have to worry about friends. I had my friend with me. I had my best friend with me. We could do anything. We had to play some ball. We played some ball, played our sports. We always had each other. Yeah, we argue, fight. That's what siblings do. But and that's I got a lot of memories. Gumby. All I heard was crazy stories about you.
Man,
Die laughing, crying, my chest hurting because he's telling me stories about you two doing something,
man,
and I'm just like crazy, and you when I left LA and to go to Florida, I'm like, you get second thoughts, man. I just left my family behind, man. But that was something I had to do, and it made me the person I am today. So, um, Gumby and Kevin, I want y'all to kind of close this podcast, but I want you to tell some stories about, you know, each other. Gumby about Kevin, Kevin about Gumby, and when Malik said, "What's in that cup?"
T, man. Come on, guys. I want
you
to tell
can't,
you.
can't,
Hey,
no-
man, guys, I'm
can't nobody
legit,
believe
man.
that, Kevin.
Hey, man, I'm legit, man.
Can't
I'm in
nobody
like
believe that.
Johnny Carson and stuff right now. I got the teacup going on. Hey, want a big shout out to linguiça.com. You guys want Linguiça, get on that app and order it. I love the Gasper family. I want to tell you guys, don't go to the stores. Go to the Dotman store. It's way cheaper. You get what you want, and you're paying a reasonable price. And everybody else is just jacking prices up. So just go to the Dotman store and go get your stuff right there. Stop going. And if you want to be food, here's the big thing. Buy from the little convenience stores. They're a lot cheaper than the regular stores, okay? Like Stop and Shop and Shop. Go buy your local corner store. His linguiça is cheaper, unless he's pricing it himself. Then you might get beat. But Country General, they sell cheap linguiça, and we got orders coming that you can start ordering. It's getting colder, I just wanted to say that because I told my boss I was going to give him a shout out and if he can give me a raise. So, you know what I mean? Maybe he can give me a raise now. You know what I mean? I'm tired of him telling me it's slow. You know what I mean? Let's go, guys. Pick up my linguiça.com so I can tell them, you take a bit slow. I got all the Cape Verdeans ordering now, man. Well, even the Portuguese family. Hey, let's go. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, let's go back to this. I'm going to tell you, Charlie, the thing that I love about Gumby is like we one day we took a ride in the Seville, right? And we used to go to his Uncle Charles' house all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we go to Uncle Charles, right? And then all of a sudden, Uncle Charles says he got a new girlfriend. And we're like, oh, we gotta go meet her. You know what I mean? Because we didn't want her taking over our car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now he says she got a Jag. So we said, oh, Marisha's sister got a Jag like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not thinking it was her. So we're like, family. We get to the house and he's introducing her to his new girlfriend, and she goes, "Hey guys, oh my God, you know that?" And I'm like, man, we can't go nowhere without being know somebody. And we were way out in the boonies. And he how the hell he find Sherry? He said, well, I seen a Jag and she had the same car. I was like, okay, all right. So, and then all of a sudden, we start going to Child's house every Sunday. Sherry wanted, let's do barbecues and stuff like that. We were like, we only came over here because he used to let us play his old rackets and we got the house to ourselves and stuff.
Yeah.
Now we got to share with family. We what the hell? But
Say,
it was you know
what
what I
you
mean? We
call
were
her?
funny.
What y'all call her? Auntie Sherry after that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She
Man.
said that's the guys I tell that's my Maurice's little brothers, and she said, oh, they go and they go drive my cars around. You know what I mean? And Charles didn't talk before. Now he's a talkative mother, Samuel. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I thought Uncle Charles didn't have no voice and shit for a while because he didn't really talk. He just say, go over there, go play music, go wash my car, and that's all we seen of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and this house was nice, you know, Charlie. There's them old black guys that keep their house nice and old records and it's clean and all spotless, and you're like, this ain't no man's house. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I never seen him with a vacuum, so somebody had to clean that house. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell's going on? You ain't got a girlfriend yet? Like, nah, somebody's got to be over here. We found out Sherry was over there,
Yeah.
man. And that
Hey,
was
we got
crazy, man.
the man with the plan. B Mag says, we are blessed to still have friends or family for 40, 50 years to tell stories about one another. Priceless. Yeah, I agree, man. B
You
Mag is
know,
doing.
Brian, B
Go ahead.
Mag was my first. He was my first friend, and we were on South First. And if they didn't move from South First and shit, me and B Mags would have been playing ball together for the rest of our lives because me and him has the nastiest defense. I don't care what anybody says about all them scorers that are in the high school. Me and B would lock people up, and I still say that I'm so mad that when we got older that he didn't play on one of my teams because me and him would have Tavazo wouldn't have been nothing if he had came on my side. You know what I mean? Like he just me and him just different people. And Blaine Peanut, I love him too. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Them are my guys that I just know the three of us can play D and still shoot the rock. You know what I mean? But like they're different. Them guys right there are just different ball players. There's another one, David Kahn too. I love his, but
That's
the
it, man.
B Mag and me, like when we grew up. I was, like I said, my first friend, and we're still, and I tell them the story all the time. You know what I mean? Let them know, your first friend is KP, man. You know what I mean? Stop trying to give Charlie poetic quotes, man. That's mindset, man. Tell him, stop good. That's what my best friend, first friends stuff, man. You're stealing that. I remember when you were writing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's beautiful that I can say that, because as you grow up, you want people to remember like when you were a kid, and do people really remember? I'm like an elephant when it comes to all my friends. I got stories for them, and they be like, damn, you remember that? And I'll be like, yeah, man. And I smoke weed. I don't know why it's still there, but it's still there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it means everything to me that I shared some moment with everybody in New Bedford that blessed me and kept me being a Southwest All Star instead of all about South End, all about West End. I was a Southwest All Star. Still am to this day. I love my city. You know what I mean? And I'll always be like that because I got brothers in the West End. I got brothers in the South End. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't be where I wanted. I had to travel, and
Move
that
around.
traveling made me have all these friends that I love. Don't get me wrong. I fought people and did some wrong, but that's because you were doing wrong to somebody I know. You know what I mean? But at this time, all I want to do is hug people. And I'm the biggest hugger, and I love people. I think that's probably why I'm always sick because I hug too many people. You know what I mean? But I just love. I just think that the bond people have went away, and that hugging, sometimes you can make somebody feel so good. I got people that will hug me and then hug me tight, and they needed that hug. You know what I mean? So when you hug me, it's a kind of sense that I know you're okay. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's beautiful that we have this.
Nico, our sister-in-law, says KP has stories for days. B Mag
Man.
says no doubt great memories, and Auntie Gail says I love my nephews. So
I,
this is the reason why we bring this podcast, so we can just be organic and real, and you
Yeah.
know, B Mags
tell
keep up.
Auntie Gail, I love you. Auntie Gail and me go way, way back. Uncle Bobby's first wife, and she's another one like Auntie Jackie. They still get amazed that I still call them Auntie. They ain't
That's it.
never
They
gonna be
deserve it,
nothing
man. They
else.
were
You know
good
what I
to us.
mean? They
There's
took me on places that I never been. They babysat me. They did things. You know what I mean? We were their kids before they had kids. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
I ain't never gonna change that. I love her to death, and always will. You know what I mean? She's my heart. So I remember her father was a cop. The child was a cop. You know what I'm saying? So that
Mm-hmm.
little instilling he had with us, and we used to go to her house and have fun over there, and that was our childhood. So you can't take that away from me. That's always my aunt. I
Yeah,
love her, and
yeah.
always love to hug her. And big shout out to Mala for doing her hair. And that's how I used to see her all the time, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
now I moved, I don't get a chance to see her, but I love my auntie.
Hey, Malik said, "Yo, isn't Gumby here too?"
Yeah. Kevin the talker. Shit.
Hey,
Hey,
but we
Samuel
oh
Jackson, Malik. Samuel Jackson, God damn it.
yo, we got Fufu here. Hey, Foo man, them Giants need you, man. The New York Giants need Jeff Correa, man.
What the
And
hell is Urban Ecstasy still there? What the
and
hell
it,
is going on?
yo, you know what? Them dudes, man, need to do a podcast like this because they leaving some stories behind. Maybe they just worried, Statute of limitations ran out, man. Fool, you and the
Come
boys
on,
can
man.
come out, man.
Yeah,
Y'all can come out.
call the construction worker. Tell him come back, man. Don't kill me. He used to hate
uh,
that. I used to see him in
so
the
so
middle of the
what's
street.
up, Gumby man? Tell us a story about Kevin and why you appreciate, and you know, tell it like it is, bro. Whoops, can't hear you.
The voice went out.
Yeah.
That button.
What button?
Oh,
There you
you
go.
got it.
You got it. You got it. Got it. You good?
Now we
Hey,
can hear
you
you.
remember that dude you were talking about had on them Days of Dudes? Them Days
Yeah.
of Dudes? Yeah. His name was Lamont.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I can visualize him. His name was Lamont with that old dry ass territory and shit. Yeah, yeah. He used to always be over there at Woodcrest trying to shoot ball and shit. Cause
yeah.
he didn't never wear no drawers. He just had on them old Daisy Duke ass gym shorts and shit. Man, I remember exactly who you talking about. Him and Kareem used to be over there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I can.
That nigga he didn't never put on no drawers, man. What's wrong with you? Shit. Yeah, when you said that shit, man, I started thinking. And I thought about it, man. I visualized. Look, I visualized his ass over there by the school. Hey, cause he stayed on 107, but he stayed on that other end.
Yep.
Yeah, and I could visualize his ass walking down Buttlong and shit,
Mhm.
going down 107 toward Vermont.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Uh,
Where
I
y'all you see him or anything? Y'all on social media? What's up with him? He's still
nah.
around?
I don't know. We ain't shit. Man, Charlie, listen. Me and Gumby one day went Facebook crazy looking for all our friends. We finally got Anthony Times, right? That nigga ignored us, man. We raised in the house. That nigga was like, oh, he says he's a teacher now. And he probably was thinking, oh, I can't get with them two dudes, man. They're going to tell my family all kind of stories. He shut us down, man. So we started doing investigation, man. And then we found out that them dudes are doing fraud and got SSI and shit like that. Man. We're like, oh, man, damn.
Yeah, after we got out of school, boy, hey, they got loose with it. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Man, they got loose with it.
Me and Gumby be trying to get them to, like, loosen up a little and shit. They were like, no. You know what I mean? Mother always trying to make us go start her car, and she have that electric lock. Me and Gumby's tall, man. Every time we get in, we hit the lock. She goes, oh, I don't have a key for that. I don't know what you guys gonna do. Why are you telling me to go start your car then? You know what I mean?
All of them look like Lionel Richie was their dad.
Yeah, child. Talking about the daughter, the brother, the other brother.
Yeah.
The only one that looked normal was the little kid.
Yeah, Sean, the last one, the baby. Shit, everybody else had them Lionel Richie lips and the Jerry curl.
Man, we were like, damn, we got Lionel Richie's house. Even the dad. And the brother, the other brother.
Yeah, John looked just like him. And Ronnie did too, cause Ronnie and
John. Malik says, what's up with Mo with the little gray truck?
Maurice. So we ran into him. Me and Gumby went back, and we were at a hotel, and we ran into him, and he changed his Nissan for El Camino. You know what I mean? But he's got a landscaping business now. He's chill. You know what I mean? I think he got married too. But I ain't talked to him in a while. You know what I mean? But I had his number listed, and then when I got him my other phone, I haven't got it. I didn't even check. I should check on Facebook to see if we have him. But he used to have
Gumby. I love Ancestry, man. And but could you tell me, does KP got any kids in hanging out somewhere? No, he has. Did he leave any kids in LA somewhere?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Kev was in love with Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, boy.
What about before that?
Kev, all this conversation was about Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every conversation Kevin had was about Bubbles. He ain't never talked about no other female. He didn't want no other female. We used to get these calling cards, man, where we go down to the payphone and we call back home. We didn't want none of that shit out there.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. And every time Kev go back, and it was Bubbles. That was it. He didn't talk about nobody else.
So homeboy with the Daisy Dukes is not Kevin's kid?
Hell no, that's the dude. That's the dude. He just played basketball, but he just wore them two little ass shorts. Then the stupid motherfucker didn't have on no drawers and shit. Man, don't nobody want to see your nuts and shit, man. Shit. He couldn't even sit down. He couldn't even sit down on the bench.
Charlie, man, me and Gumby was like, 15, 16. We went down to the bus terminal, man, and used to fucking buy calling cards and come back over there. And motherfucking Charlie, man, Samuel Jackson. We literally paid like $10 because the bum used to watch people, use their calling card, and he used to write it down. And then that was their way of making money. That was our first hustle, was getting them calling cards. Man, I was calling back home all the time. And then when that one cut off, we take our butt right back down and get another one. You know what I mean? We the ones that got somebody's bill's probably big right now. That was us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we never did put limitations on.
No,
we never did drop no money. We never did drop no money in the payphone. Get straight on there with them numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It got us out of trouble, man. These gangbangers came up to us and pulled a gun, and we were like, who you talking to? I said, I'm talking to Massachusetts. Nah, really? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no, how you doing that? And we said, we got calling card. And they were like, and then one of them gave me $20. I gave them a card. Next thing you know, every time they seen us, they walk over, they come over, and they were chill after that. They were like, damn, them go those hustlers right there. You guys got some more calling cards? We're like, yeah.
We kept them. We kept them calling cards on like a preacher do a Bible.
Yep.
Malik said Gumby sold oranges on the corner.
Hell no.
No, man.
Nah, we
We
were
used to
selling
get,
oranges. We probably go by there and snatch a bag because he
yeah,
wasn't.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
They
he
those
couldn't
wasn't
catch
straight.
oranges
us.
were
Them oranges were good.
nice, man.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Them big ass skins, you just
Oh
peel
my
and draw
God.
them all. Like, yeah, it ain't like now you got to stick your nail in the orange to
Yeah.
get it to peel. These things will just rip right off. I was like, yeah,
Say
big
peel it
orange
off
too.
one try.
Orange look like a grapefruit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sweet.
Nice.
You know? Oh
So
man.
all right, fellas, man. I just want to open this podcast to both of you. We can do this anytime, man. I don't care when it is. But I just think it's very, very important that we have video and conversation so
Yeah, that's a good
family
thing.
and friends can see this, and
Yep.
we can see it. Um, in life, tomorrow isn't promised, man. So if we keep making memories like this, it's good. Because I'm always going to a funeral or wake, man, and we just need to
Yeah,
keep in touch and do the right thing, man.
man, we
So
can do it anytime you get ready. Shit, I'm gonna have me some weed and a Coors Light next round.
that's it, man. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do what you have to, man.
Yeah,
That's why it's
That's
a
how you
really.
know we're brothers. We both drink the same beer and smoke the
yeah,
same weed.
Mhm.
yeah. Shit, I
Yeah.
need
Well,
something smooth. I don't want no damn malt liquor. Shit,
Fuck that. That's what it
man,
is.
I drank enough of them Coors, man. That do the job of some malt liquor.
hmm
Yo, serious. My kids always laugh at me and say because that I the other day I had a blue moon and that almost killed me. I was drunk as I was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" And shit.
Yeah,
They were like telling me "Oh, you ain't drinking that water today." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I ain't gonna drink that blue moon no more neither." Mhm. I'll stick to my Coors Light. Yeah.
that's it. Drink those all day, all night. Um,
Oh, no. And I'm happy because I get a
that's it.
buzz. My head ain't spinning off no Coors Light. I'll tell you that much. Might put me
Yeah,
to sleep, but it ain't gonna be spinning. Plus,
love it.
I thought I was on a diet. That's how I started picking up Coors Light. Nah, I went to this college party and these kids, they had like, what I mean, I don't know what they do, but every party we went into, every frat house, all had Coors Light. So we like, oh, this is smooth. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And you got the white guy talking to you about it. Yeah, this is, and I'm like, yeah, you kind of sound educated. Let me drink that too. And then me and Mike Lowe's were like, hey, we just started walking around with the Coors Light, and they say, "Oh, you go here?" We like, "Yeah, we do." You know
Uh
how you know because you got a Coors Light. You know what I mean?
huh. Yeah.
Oh man, we like happy. And then we walk into the shower, and I told Mike, did you bring the shampoo? He said no. And then all of a sudden, this girl goes, "I got some." I said, "What the fuck?" Mike, we're in the wrong shower. You know what I mean? She goes, "Oh no, it's co-ed." I said, "Co-ed? What the
That's it.
fuck?" I'm like, she's passing me the shower and I'm like passing it the mic with running down. She's passing us some soap and we're like, oh, this is cool. She goes, you guys need some lotion? She's lotioning up. I'm like, yeah, I want some lotion. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, here, put this on you. It makes your skin glow. I was like, oh, yeah, give us that. They're like, Mike, we had a facial. And she's got her towel on. And I'm like, what is this normal? They're like, yeah, we do this all the time in college. I was like, sign me up, man, sign me up. Started applying for grants and stuff. I was calling Wayne Ramus. I was like, get me in.
Uh huh. Yo,
Oh man.
Malik got some shine, man. You got to check it out, man. Some good tasting stuff, man. And yeah, got to go by the house and he's doing his thing, man. Doing his country thing with that shine. I appreciate it. Um,
Mm.
all right, man. When we gonna do this again? We can't do it your birthday week because you be playing
So,
Florida. You know.
now I don't know what I'm doing this year, but I because I lost 3 weeks at work, I used my vacation time to cover that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean I could I'm like who I am. I could just take it off if I want to, but I'm going to be cautious with it. I might end up going in December. You know what I mean? That way, because Keita's in school and I don't. We usually go together, and she don't get out of school till the end of November, beginning of December. I think so we're gonna try and do that then because we've been doing this Scorpio 30 days stuff for a long time now, and I don't want to do it without my daughter no more. So I'll probably just go to, maybe to the Foxwood and spend a week there or whatever. So that's
All right.
most likely what I'll do.
What we'll do is, I'll hit you up just before Halloween, let y'all know, and that we can do this again, man. Bring your Coors Light. Anything else?
I'll bring my tea. I'll bring my
Yeah,
tea.
you listen. It's your birthday, so you ain't gonna be drinking no tea. So I know that will get changed up real quick.
Oh yeah, I think tequila's coming out that night.
Oh boy,
mean,
like
my wife
me,
will-
me and my son-in-law. Still, what we talk about. It's the Jose. That Jose Cuervo be messing us up, man. But it's blame it on the Jose.
Yeah, I love Jose. I love that.
We
Man.
need Jamie Foxx to come out with another song, blame it on the Jose. So, all right, y'all, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make some reels out of this whole podcast, so we'll have some reels. I'll share them with both of you. And who knows? The reels might come up with something like Samuel Jackson.
Hey man, I want to tell everybody we love you guys and we appreciate you having us on the show. And this is love, genuine love. But we genuinely love all you fans out there that are sitting there and watching. The next new Tom and Jerry right here, me and Gumby, and you guys.
Spice it up next round.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, stay tuned. But hey, if somebody didn't tell you yesterday and didn't tell you today, I'm gonna tell you right now. I love you guys. I love you so much, and I appreciate being raised with you guys, and always will have love for you guys. Hugs and appreciate you. Be safe out there.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Malik, for getting this together. I appreciate the push, to get these two brothers on here, and we're gonna do it again in about 30 days, and we'll do it again. So thank you everyone for joining us on the Really Charlie podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and later on it will be on Spotify. Also, I have some little short reels about the podcast, so that will be kind of funny, with these two dudes, man. They already said some funny comical stuff on there, man. I'm hoping that it captures the part where Gumby's explaining about the dude with Daisy Dukes. Kevin saying Samuel Jackson. We might have a good following, but I know this podcast definitely got 1,000 views already, so we're gonna have fun. Those reels will probably produce some more audience, and but all right, we'll do this again. All right,
yes, sir.
All right, peace out. Gasco
man.
family, I love you guys. All right, Linguisa.com again, guys. Get out there, Linguisa. All right, and if you like hot stuff, go get some chorizo. All right, peace out, baby. Love you.
Love you.
My
Love you, Gumby, man.
My
KP.
brothers, I love both of y'all.
All right, I
we
love you
the
too, man.
hotties too, man. Hey, give Eric and them a hug for us and tell them we love them, man.
For sure.
All right, bro. Be safe.
All right.
Love you.
God bless
All right,
y'all.
bro.
Okay.
Bless. Peace.
Later.
It's the Really Charlie podcast. Sounds so true. Grab a chair, pour out a glass. Let's break